Morning, everybody. It's 9:02, and this is your pre-opening comment for Friday, the 3rd, end of the week. And it is video number 2159. And we had the big number today, and the market reacted to it in both directions, meaning rates down, stocks up. When I came in this morning, we were up 296 in the Dow, 113 in the Nasdaq, and 20 in the S&P. When the numbers came at 8:30, and I'll get to them in a second, but you'll be able to surmise what they were. We went to up 536 in the Dow, 260 in the Nasdaq, which was over a double, and in the S&P up almost 50, which is 2.5 times up. Right now, we've settled back in with the Dow up 500, Nasdaq up 290, still gaining, and the S&P up 59. So, what were the numbers? Jobless, I mean, employment gains 175,000, which was light of both the average estimate at 200 and the official estimate from briefing and everybody else of 250. The unemployment rate actually increased to 3.9 from 3.8. Our average hourly earnings were up 0.2. That was exactly in line with estimates. The hours worked was a little higher, 34.3 versus up, which was up 0.2%. Labor participation rate stayed steady at 62.7. That's pretty close to a recent high. I think the recent high was 62.8. And the U6, which is the underemployment, that came in a little worse economically, certainly for those who are unemployed or underemployed, at 7.4 versus 7.3. So as of right now, Dow up 500, Nasdaq up 286, S&P up 57.3. The chart on the screen is the corn, and we called this exactly. We were looking for a lower opening on Monday, and that is exactly what we got. We got a lower opening on Monday. We stayed down there Tuesday, but Wednesday we reversed to the upside, moving up 4 cents. Thursday, yesterday, up 9 cents. This morning, following through, up another 5.5 cents. We're getting awfully close to that 470 level that I was somewhat concerned about because of the 200-day moving average. But, this is a pretty nice base. It looked like the MACD was rolling to the downside. Now it looks like it's gone neutral. It is not in the overbought area, so we'll have to see what happens against this 200-day moving average on a weekly basis. It looks pretty much the same, except a little bit more extreme for the week. It's up 15.25%, and the MACD is improving here, but still also just around the zero line. So definitely not overbought. And the next, on the weekly basis, the next obstacle would be this orange line, which is the 50-week moving average. And it comes through around 483. So hopefully that continues. The rest of the markets, oil basically unchanged, nat gas up a penny, gasoline up a half a penny, heating oil up 1 cent, which is neither here nor there. The gold is up 370, silver barely changed, the copper though is up 7 cents, and that has really been a beauty here. Same kind of thing, big consolidation. This is the weekly. I'll just put this in a little better perspective for you. This is the weekly. We were bound by 360 to $4, and we have been on a weekly basis higher, high, higher, low for one, two, three, four, 5 weeks. We've surpassed this high around 457. This week's high is 469. So, we can use a bit of a pullback here, maybe down to the let's call it 440 area, would really be helpful to work off the overbought. Let's see what else we have. Cotton up a little, coffee down again. Coffee is sharply lower in the past couple of weeks. So, you know, I don't know how Starbucks can't make any money with coffee at these levels. But we've been as high as on the run up, we've been as high as 245. Now we're back at 203. So we're kind of mid range. If we hold above this, let's just call it $2. If we hold above this $1.98 to $2, which was the last important breakout, it looks pretty decent. The reason I say that is because we had a consolidation here, we had a bottom here, we had a top there, we had another top there after this double bottom. So, technically, this is kind of interesting. What's also interesting is this purple line is the open interest in contracts. And this shows moving down on declining volume is generally considered to be liquidation of open positions. Let's just see what else. The dollar is down 53 cents on that big jump in the bonds. Bitcoin up 1,200. Ethereum up about 50. The bonds are up 28 seconds, so almost a point, and bouncing off um, those lower lows, bottom of the channel that I drew here. And, we're back in the channel. Top of the channel right now is around 119 and a quarter. So we'll have to see how that works out. As far as the news, we had the big news yesterday with Apple reporting after the close and the stock moving up 10.53 or 6.1%. They beat by 2 cents, revenues in line. iPhone generated slightly below estimates. So what did they do? They raised the dividend 4%. They authorized the biggest share buyback in history of any company, $110 billion. And they gave some third quarter guidance. Also on the upside, Amgen, which beat by 8 cents. The stock is 316 this morning, up 37 or 13.4%. Everybody knows how I feel about this. This market is so far away from its real purchase, which is identifying what prices should be. You got a company the size of Apple, $2.5 trillion, and it goes up 6% on an earnings report. That is not an efficient market. Square used to be, or Block used to be Square. They beat by a couple of cents, beat on revenues, Cash App revenues up, an all around good result. And the stock is 75.37, and that's up 7.2. Going the other way, we had Expedia. This is kind of an interesting dichotomy. Experian beat by 35 cents, beat on revenues, but lowered fiscal 24 revenues below consensus. The stock is 119.95. That's down 16.14 or almost 12%. On the other side of the coin, we have Booking Holdings, which beat by $6. Of course, it's a $3,600 stock. Beat by $6 and is 35.67, and that's up 94 or 2.7%. So I'm wondering what Expedia is missing that Booking Holdings is doing. Um, uh, Coinbase down 10, even though they beat. Cloudflare, another huge decline here, 12.8%, 77.56, down 11.41 on a beat in earnings, a beat in revenues, guides above consensus. I have no idea other than the fact that the stock has had a great run up. Fortinet, which also beat and is also lower by about 8%, 59.90, down 5.40, guides in line, revenues in line, raises guidance, and is down. And DraftKings, which missed by a penny, beat on revenues and raised revenue and EBITDA guidance, up $1 at 44.09. Okay, one last look at the futures, and we have, let's see, the Dow. I'm just going to pull that up here for you. NVIDIA is up 17. Uh, very, not really too surprising. So the Dow looks to be up right around that 500 number. S&P pretty much in line at up about 52, and the NASDAQ also continuing higher up in that 260 area. All right, folks, have a good day and have a good weekend. We'll be back on Monday.